On this episode of Carnage, we're putting nitrous on the Lexcen, but not in the way you think. Woo! That's cold. This is our Toyota Lexcen Wagon. Yes, it is a rebadged Commodore, and yes, it would have came from the factory with a boring old 3.8 litre V6. But we've made it better with a Toyota quad cam V8, 4 litres, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. But then we've made it better still by fitting a Pulsar 7170 turbo on it, pumping in around 25 pounds of boost. It's got bigger injectors, runs E85, it's got a big intercooler on it, and it makes somewhere in the vicinity between 650 and 700 horsepower at the wheels, depending on whose dyno it's on. So it makes a lot of power. It's pretty good, it's pretty solid. Considering it is basically a stock bottom end, it's got factory pistons, factory rods, factory crank. All we've done is enlarge the ring gaps a little bit for the boost, and it makes some serious power. But all that power comes at a price, and that price is heat, more precisely intake temperature heat. We have a problem with it making too much heat on the intake side of things, even with a big intercooler on it. And so therefore, during a run, it starts pulling timing during the run, sees that air intake go up and starts pulling timing, and therefore we're pulling power as we're going out of down the track. So at the moment, we've gone 1031 at 136 miles an hour on 235 drag radials. That's not too bad. So 10.3, it's in touching distance of 9s if we can get a good clean pass down the track without it pulling power. So we have a way to do that, and that is by using this nitrous spray bar, we hope. So the idea is we attach that to the front of the intercooler, run a nitrous line to it from the bottle, and activate it during the run. So it's got a bunch of holes there that spray against the intercooler, and hopefully that will reduce the intake temperatures enough that we get a good clean pass out of it and run, well, 9s down the quarter. That's the hope. It's cheap and hopefully effective, so let's try it. Let's see if we can go 9s by putting this into our car. Not like it needs this anymore anyway. Okay, job done, sort of. All right, which way are we going to do this? So the spray bar doesn't actually come with any mounts. So I've been down to the hardware store and I've got all these plastic mounts. They are not for this purpose, but hopefully they'll give us some way of sticking it there so then we can run cable ties through. Plus it'll give us a little bit of standoff distance and it'll help the spray pattern, I think. All theories, but we'll have to put it into practice. So anyway, let's see if this will work. I don't know if it will. Okay. I'm hoping that would hold a bit better than that. All right, plan B, because these do not work. Put it somewhere like that. It feels pretty solid. So we'll have to line up our pipes again. Attach all that up, but yeah, that feels nice and solid. I don't think it's going anywhere. Is it as tidy as I would like? No, but they should probably put mounts on these things. Anyway, all right, we'll snip her off, snip all the tails off, do everything up, and we'll hook the bottle up and just do a little test squirt. See what it looks like. So the only nitrous line I've got is this one here from the VN. So we never actually used it in the VN, so might as well use it. All right, looks like we've got -4. So we're gonna have to run a little adapter on our thing because it's got a -3 on it, so yeah, -4. Right, let's do a little test. Sorry, this bottle's... Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow, it froths up pretty good. That's got to affect the intake temps. Well, the intake temps are well below ambient. Yes, definitely makes the intake temps cool. I do wonder if it's better just injecting nitrous into the motor. Don't know, but we'll try this. We'll see how we go with this. Certainly can't hurt. But yeah, we'll have to situate our bottle somewhere, set up a solenoid, and then wire it up to the ECU. But yeah, wow, very frosty. Oh, that is very cold. Yeah. Cool. Right, well, we have our bottle mounted in the rear. It's a station wagon. It's the only place it's going to fit. So that bottle is mounted, line is run, we've run it up through the cab. It's going to go across the firewall, and we're going to mount this rather large nitrous solenoid. Yes, it's huge. It's a super big shot solenoid. It's just something we had laying here around the workshop. The only other nitrous solenoid I've got has been damaged by fire. Remember Toxic Avenger? Does it need to be that big? No, it does not. However, this is just something we had laying around in the workshop, so I've decided it's going to be what we're going to use. I've also made up a little bracket here that's going to mount to there, and then I'm going to mount it to the strut tower just down there. So that'll be our solenoid. We'll wire this up through the ECU, so we'll wire it up so we can activate with the CAN keypad if we need to, like just give it a little squirt, just to bring intercooler temps down if we need to, or we'll probably run a race timer or something like that, so have that based off the trans brake button, maybe, yeah. Release the button, starts activating the nitrous system once it reaches a certain temperature. These are the things that you can do with a Haltech setup, so that's what I will try to do. All right, well anyway, let's mount this, get the lines to it, run the lines down to the intercooler, and then wire it up. Now that we've got our solenoid fitted, she's nice and solid, I went down to the boys at Speed Pro and got them to make me up a very short nitrous line. So we didn't have any lines that were short enough or long enough. So basically, so anyway, -4 on either end, straight on one end. We'll just screw that on there. And then poke that down through there, and we can attach the other end. So that's bottle, lines, fittings all done. Now it's just a matter of wiring. So I've been doing some wiring this morning, setting it up through the Haltech, and I think we have it all working now. So let's do a test. I'll turn the ignition on. All right, so ignition power on. Now I should be able to just reach in there, hit the button on the CAN keypad, and it should activate. See how we go. Well, that works just fine. Cool. All right, from here we need to, well, basically do an oil change and take the car out to the track. So we're going to head up to Heathcote, hopefully this weekend, weather permitting, take it up to Heathcote and test our new setup, hopefully going to the 9s. If not, a new PB would be awesome. Mind you, the difference between a 9 and a new PB is only 0.3 of a second, so anywhere in there would be great, but we want to run a 9 with it. So I want to test this setup first. If this doesn't work, if this doesn't make it cool enough, then maybe we'll just squirt some nitrous into the engine. But you're going to see all that on a future episode of Carnage.